Hey guys, just before we start, there's one story for this video. If you feel like it, hit the subscribe and like buttons and share your opinions in the comment section. Let's get into it. Am I the imbecile for crossing the ultimate line with my girlfriend's dad? I'm Jake, a 28-year-old software developer, and I've been in a relationship with my girlfriend Emily for 3 years. Our story isn't one of those love at first sight tales. It's more of a slow burn that blossomed into something beautiful. We met at a mutual friend's party, connected over our shared love for indie music and vintage film photography, and things just clicked from there. Emily, with her quick wit and compassionate nature, quickly became not just my partner, but my best friend. Our relationship, however, hasn't been without its challenges. Emily's job in public relations demands a lot of her time, often requiring her to travel. This has put a strain on us, leading to periods of distance and miscommunication. Despite these hurdles, we've always managed to find our way back to each other, our bond seemingly stronger after each challenge. Then there's Mark, Emily's dad. He's a charismatic, larger-than-life character, and we hit it off from the moment we met. Mark, a former college football star turned successful businessman, has a magnetic personality that draws you in. He's the kind of guy who can talk to anyone about anything, and his stories from his glory days are both entertaining and inspiring. Our connection was instant. We shared interests in sports, classic rock, and had a similar sense of humor. I admired him, not just for who he was, but for how he raised Emily to be the incredible woman she is. As time went on, my relationship with Mark evolved. We started hanging out without Emily, watching games, working on his classic car collection, and sometimes just grabbing a beer and talking about life. It felt good to have a father figure in my life, as I lost my own dad when I was young. I never anticipated that this growing bond would lead to a situation that would turn my world upside down. The incident that changed everything happened about 6 months ago. Emily was away at a conference in Chicago, and I was feeling particularly lonely that weekend. Out of the blue, I got a call from Mark, inviting me over to watch the big game at his place. I didn't hesitate. A night with good company seemed like the perfect antidote to my loneliness. That evening at Mark's house was relaxed at first. We talked about the game, shared laughs, and reminisced about past adventures. As the night wore on and the bottles of beer dwindled, our conversation took a deeper turn. We started discussing more personal topics, our fears, our aspirations, and our relationships. Mark opened up about his divorce, how it left a void in his life, and his struggles with loneliness. I shared my concerns about being a good partner to Emily, especially with the distance her job created. It was during this vulnerable exchange that the atmosphere shifted. There was a moment charged with an intensity I can't quite explain, where our eyes locked, and something unspoken passed between us. Before I fully comprehended the gravity of the situation, Mark leaned in and we kissed. It was brief, but it was enough to send a shockwave through my system. The realization of what had just happened hit me like a ton of bricks. I pulled away, a mix of confusion and guilt swirling inside me. I muttered some excuse about needing to leave and practically ran out of his house. The drive home was a blur, my mind racing with 1,000 thoughts. What did that kiss mean? Why did it happen? How could I face Emily after this? The guilt was overwhelming. I had crossed a line, not just with my girlfriend's father, but with someone I had come to respect and consider a friend. The complexity of my emotions was suffocating, and I knew this was a secret that could shatter the world as I knew it. Here's an update for you all. In the weeks following the incident with Mark, the weight of what happened hung over me like a dark cloud. I was consumed by guilt and confusion, struggling to act normal around Emily. She sensed something was off, but I brushed off her concerns with excuses about work stress. Mark and I avoided each other. The few times we did interact, there was an unspoken agreement to pretend like nothing happened. But the tension was palpable. It felt like we were both holding our breath, waiting for the other shoe to drop. Then, about a month after the incident, Mark called me. He sounded weary, a stark contrast to his usually confident tone. He apologized for that night, admitting that he had been struggling with loneliness and confusion about his identity since his divorce. He assured me that it was a moment of weakness, a mistake that he deeply regretted. He pleaded with me not to tell Emily, fearing it would destroy their relationship and mine with her. I was torn. Part of me felt relieved to hear Mark acknowledge the mistake and take responsibility. But another part of me was angry and confused. How could we both pretend like nothing happened? How could I continue to lie to Emily, the woman I loved? After much contemplation, I decided to seek professional help. I started seeing a therapist to navigate my feelings and the complexity of the situation. It was during these sessions that I realized the importance of honesty and integrity in my life. Finally, I made the difficult decision to tell Emily. It was the hardest conversation I've ever had. I explained everything, from the bond I had formed with Mark to the incident that night. Emily was devastated. The revelation shook the foundation of our relationship and her relationship with her father. We're currently taking a break. Emily needs time to process everything, and I respect that. I'm continuing therapy, trying to learn from this experience and grow as a person. The future of our relationship is uncertain, but I hope with time and healing, we can find a way forward. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.